Welcome to Neutral Gaming. Today's M+ episode showcases a Guardian Druid POV. The dungeon we are running is a +16 Mists of Tirna Scithe. Affixes are fortified, raging, explosive and tormented. This dungeon has not seen many variations in the first season. However, due to the new seasonal affix, we can run a totally different route today. There are 3 key plays throughout the dungeon. Number 1 is a major skip. Number 2 is getting 3 tormentor buffs before the first boss. Number 3 are multiple extra trash pulls in the maze. Before we start, I would appreciate a like, a comment or a subscription. This will help me out a ton and you will see more M+ routes in the future. In difference to the last season, I prefer to skip the entire start. It is important that you stay away from the tree since they have true sight. Make sure you stay close enough to the walls. You can also mark the correct way before starting your key. Why is this starting skip so huge? It is not because the skipped packs are particularly dangerous. It is because you will have all cooldowns for the first tormentor that you can pull into an already dangerous pull. However, you don't want to use Bloodlust here since the first boss is still a damage race. After collecting your first anima power, you will directly go to the next tormentor. Defeating him, you will cross the room and play the third tormentor by pulling him with a pet class through the wall. Using this strategy will grant you 3 anima powers before you engage the first boss. Malik's health points have been reduced lately, which makes this boss a lot easier. Never have puddles in your back so you don't get feared into it. As a tank, you want to keep the boss facing away from your group until he enters the damage phase. Also, the fear right before the intermission was removed. Once the damage phase starts, you want to use Heart of the Wild and a Moonkin Convoke. Even though you are tank, you can deal some serious damage here. In this run I managed to pull a 100k crit. I ended the boss fight with 14k DPS. There are damage dealers out there that struggle with those kind of numbers. The maze itself is a kind of scripted place in which you don't have many variables. You do have to solve the riddle and follow the given way. This does not give us tanks a choice of what to pull and which groups to skip. However, you can still save tons of time here by pulling extra trash through walls with a pet class. The first extra pull is the entire right room before you start the maze. You can easily add those mobs into the 2 guardians. Now you simply follow the maze until you have Incarn up again. You then tell your assistant to perform another wall pull. We ended up adding a regular trash pack into the maze mini-boss. This worked out quite well. The maze mini-boss always costs a good chunk of time. This way you can at least use it efficiently. The Mistcaller fight has not changed compared to Season 1. As a tank you need to kick the clap cast and move the boss away from the frost boxes to ensure your melees are safe. In the intermissions you can move Mistcaller to one of his mirror images to maximize damage. It is not a huge increase though. In this particular week it is much more important that you try to hit as many explosives as possible. The mirror images spawn him randomly in the entire area. The first pull after defeating Mistcaller will be the last tormentor of the dungeon. If you are confident enough you can add him to the 3-pack next to it. Since you played an extra amount of trash in the maze, You will not need to pull crazy amounts in this area. Depending on the route through the maze and your extra pulls, you just pull as much trash as needed here until you meet the finishing requirements. If you are not 100% sure if you killed enough already, follow this simple tip. Take the fastest way to the boss. Defeat him and play the rest of your enemies after him. The area is shaped like a circle, so you won't lose any time doing this. Tredova as final bosses has not undergo any changes. You want to kick all her casts. You want to dodge all ground effects, and you want to kill the spawned adds. If you really feel fancy, you can pull another pack into the boss or start it almost immediately after you killed the boss. This is what you see here in the end of the fight. That a circumflex euros about it, my friends. I hope you had fun with this 9.1 tormentor route of Mists of Tirna Scithe. Especially skipping the start and pulling extra trash in the maze is the key to win in this dungeon. Let me know what you think about the content and editing. Also like, subscribe and all that stuff. We all need some support from time to time. See you next time.